In this Integreat Learning video, we're going to take what we've learned in the Robotic Rover motor introduction video and apply it to both motors. So if you haven't already figured out how to make your motors both go the same direction when you put in your numbers, refer to that video. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little room here. I'm going to fold up this little message. And I'm going to bring this block up here. So I'm all ready to make my rover move. I'm trying to achieve a challenge of making this rover go in a straight line forward. And I also want it to be able to stop. So I click on my motor command blocks and my rover starts to move. Now if I want it to stop and I click again, doesn't seem to matter where I click, the rover doesn't want to stop. Now the short-term solution is to come over here and set your speed to 0. And click on the blocks again. And this stops your rover. But it's not very convenient. And when you're trying to achieve a challenge of making your rover go in a straight line and stop, and you're only allowed to touch your computer or your rover once at the start and once at the stop, this isn't going to work. So what do? Well, there are some commands you can pull out. In the control section, first of all, it's nice to have a command that starts everything. In this case, this command, when something is pressed. In this case, I'm going to change, and you can choose anything, but I'm going to choose the arrow keys. And I'm going to specifically choose the down arrow here. So when the down arrow key is pressed, my program will start. Now, I want my program to go until I want it to stop. So there is a repeat until command that I can attach to this. And whatever's happening inside will repeat until a certain command tells it to stop. So if I put the motor commands in here, when the down arrow is pressed, the hummingbird motor is going to go, and let's put that back at 50. A speed of 50. Now remember, the speed for motors can be anything from -100 all the way up to 100. So it's going to repeat until some command is given. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to drag this command out of the sensing choices when the space key is pressed. I'm going to drop that right into that spot. So now when the down arrow is pressed, this command will begin and it will stop when the space key is pressed. Now, stopping this command simply means it's going to go to the next thing. So let's give that a try. Pressing the down arrow. Great, rover's going. Press the space key. The program turns off, but the rover doesn't. Alright, we've got to do some problem solving. So again, the only way I could get this to stop was to come over here and change these commands to zeros and run the program again. What I really want to have happen is I want it to stop when I hit the space key. But I have to put in a command or some commands that tell it what to do next. So I'm going to take out another motor block and another motor block. I'm going to make sure that I tell not only motor number 1, but also motor number 2 to stop. So now, let's put these back at a motion of 50. And click out here in the black area to get ready to use the program. And let's see what happens. Down arrow is pressed and space key is pressed. When the space key is pressed, the speed of 50 stops and the speed of 0 begins. And this is how you write a simple program to start and stop forward motion for a robotic rover.